I'm here once again to talk about mental health.
Sort of.
So, podcast on the go. So that's the name of the podcast. It's basically any topic that I want, but I have these segments. Like previously, I talked about, or I interviewed women because it's like International Women's Month. So my guests were mostly women. So
I think that was March.
March. So they talked about themselves or their advocacies, their interests. So now the next segment that I'm doing is mental health or anything related to that, or basically anyone who wants to be a guest or something. But it just so happens that it fits the segment.
Mm-hmm.
So I have today Mark Razonable.
Hello.
And what I do is I let the guest introduce themselves.
Oh, okay.
So that I will not make any mistake. So yeah, because you're in control. What if I stalked you and then it's outdated or something like that, or it's something that you no longer want to be, for example. So you're a changed person. So I'll let you introduce yourself, and then after that, just share your origin story.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right. So, hi guys. So, my name is Mark. So, actually, Vernon and we've been friends for years. No, since I was college, because you already.
No, I feel
okay.
college at that time.
Okay.
Right?
So, yeah, Vernon was my colleague when I was still blogging and when you were still active then, but you were reactivated, if I'm not mistaken, in terms of blogging.
Now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, more about me. I'm a software engineer. At the same time, I'm a financial advisor. And before, born and raised and lived in Cebu, but now I'm based in Manila. So I've been in Manila. I've been based in Manila for 2 years now. So yeah, incidentally, or I know I don't really want to use the term incidentally, but I think it was
fated.
It was orchestrated. Yes, orchestrated that Vernon approached me, to be his guest for this podcast on the go. So, and just a little intro on why it fits actually on his series, because when I was listening to his previous podcast, like, just so happened that I have the same experience as well. So it kind of it's the next episode for the series, honestly. So yeah, just a hint on what were the two latest posts that before this one, if I'm not mistaken. It talks about anxiety and panic attacks. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, that was Aldrin's one. Yeah. Then I forgot the girl. The second one is how to deal with people who are into depression.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so yeah, the first two episodes. I like to call it episodes.
Okay.
Yeah. The first two episodes really talks about mental health, and it talks about one person that is having anxiety attacks, and someone who is not encounter this. It's not someone that is not experiencing mental health in the first place, but is actually concerned to the about a person who is having a mental health issue. Now, let's talk about what I can contribute to this series is how do you overcome mental health, particularly depression, specifically overcoming depression through faith. Yeah, so when I shared this to Vernon, he was really quite excited. I'm as well excited. So yeah, let's do this.
Okay, let's go.
So yeah. What's the first question?
So first question. So this is this something that you've shared before, or is this the first time you're only sharing this?
No. I have already shared this. Actually, this is already a testimony.
Okay.
Testimony of mine. So yeah, before you actually before you can actually use an experience as a testimony, you need to undergo test. Yeah. So from the term itself, you cannot call it testimony without test. Yeah. So yeah, you need to really experience it before you can actually share it. So that's why I'm free to share this one, because this experience has become a learning curve. I mean, a learning experience for me, so that I can be a better version of myself. Now here I am sharing my story, my testimony, so that others can get learnings, so that they can also develop learning from this for themselves as well. Especially for those who are encountering depression right now. So yeah, just to share what my experience is, or my story is. My story is that I mentioned that I'm based in Manila, right? So living away from my family, I'm basically living on my own, is really a roller coaster ride. So you can really feel that there are pros and cons. Pros being you're independent, you're happy-go-lucky. No one's going to no one's going to check on. No one's going to inform you or to call you that, hey, it's already late, come back home.
No curfew.
No curfews. Like, basically, it's
you're an adult.
Free life. Like, you can go home to your apartment or to your condo whenever you like, because you already have the key, right? So it's basically it's like independence, freedom from parents and family. But there's a cons, because it really is true that once you live away from your family, the setbacks, the separation anxiety. I mean, I've had attacks. That's why I came here. I came back home because I had setbacks.
You're homesick.
Yeah, I was homesick, and apart from the fact that I had to attend the wedding. Yeah. So I had to extend my stay because I'm homesick. So there are stuff like that. So if you're a very strong individual, you can actually overcome simple attacks like setbacks, right? Separation anxiety, or missing home, to be exact. So if you're really tough enough. But when you talk about depression, kasi it's a different version of setbacks plus other forms of attacks, other forms of mental disturbance, like questioning what's your purpose in life.
What you're alone now, and then you're free to think.
So
overthink.
Let me just share my own story about my depression days, right? So first thing that you're going to notice, the first thing that I noticed, by the way, when I had depression, is that it really is hard for me to share my problem. Why? My main reason for that is maybe my problem is too petty for that person. Like, I don't want to waste that person's time because of my shallow problem. Maybe I'll just leave it. I'll just handle it on my own, or stuff like that. It's like the excuse of a depressed person, or a person that is encountering depression, is that they value that person's time, so they are quite uncertain if that problem of theirs is really much worth of that person's time. So that's one of the signs, actually. I like to call it signs, because other people that I have known that have experienced or encountered depression, or overcame depression, had the same experience as mine. Like they value, they're afraid to share it to other people, and it is really true that what you say, or what you read in the articles, that a depressed person is really, what do you call that, hard to predict, because one moment you're happy and the next hour you're already sad, you're already down, you're already
bipolar.
Yes, I think that's the term, bipolar, but
that's something
different.
But people deal or experience it differently, I think.
Yeah,
We're not experts, by the way.
yeah. We're just based on experiences, but I think there are other people who are dealing with depressions in a different manner. So I'm not really gonna I'm not gonna put my standards on how they deal with it. It's not actually it's not actually my experience is not actually the standards, but I'm just sharing mine. Hopefully, you can get from my experience. Okay, so yeah. Where was I? It is true that you cannot really predict that person if he's depressed or not. Not unless he opens up.
Yeah.
He shares that he's going through this, he's going through that, something like that.
Or they're expressing it in social
verbally
media.
Verbally.
Because sometimes it's easier there.
Yeah. There are other forms of there are other means of a person with depressed who are undergoing depression and how they share their thoughts and how they share their minds. It can be social media, it can be through food.
Yeah.
Food. It can be through other recreational stuffs. But here's the point. Here's the key point here. It doesn't really help. I mean, it doesn't really matter how that depressed person overcomes that depression. The fact that they're dealing it alone doesn't really help at all. Yeah, I don't know if you've encountered a depressed person before. Have you?
Maybe, but no, I really don't try to judge immediately.
Yeah.
It's best if they based on the last episode, like it's best that they reveal it or they shared it themselves, because it's easier for you to deal or to talk to them rather than forcing it, or like if you brand somebody like that, they may get defensive or they may get insulted, so they will even close up more.
Yeah, and it's true that what the other previous episode she shared it like you're just so being OA.
Yeah.
So depressed people fear that kind of branding, that kind of judgment on other people. So that's what makes it more harmful, because the fact that depression cannot be dealt alone, that cannot be fought alone.
Yeah.
So they need to reach out. But the fact that they have the fear of being misinterpreted, that's what's holding them back.
Yeah.
Okay, you're just being OA. It's not really that. It's not really that something more extreme. So come on, wake up, something like that. So yeah.
So what was the trigger for you? You said it was sepangs, but then of course it gets worse. So what was the trigger other than that?
Sepangs, separation anxiety from my family is just one of the ingredients of my depression. So one of which is purpose in career. Like if I get out of this if I get out of this company, where will I fit in? Where will I go? Like I cannot really see myself
the future
progressing in this kind of field. But if I get out of this field,
what do you do?
What will I do? Something like that. Relate.
I think people experience that all the time.
And adding to that is the financial problem, because I questioned my financial ability to support my parents. So like diba, I moved to Manila from Cebu
to earn more.
Yeah, not really to earn more, but to experience more. Yeah. So but there is this pride that was that there was this pride that, hey, it's my decision to move to Manila, and it's my decision to move to Manila, so I have to still support my family despite living alone in Manila. So you see the the consequence of moving to Manila, because you need to support your parents, at the same time you need to support your own yourself. So you need to support your own finances, your own needs in while staying in Manila, at the same time supporting your parents away from home.
So you're like
away from yourself. Sorry.
So you're like an OFW in a way.
Sort of. Sort of.
So you work overseas, so
yeah. That also adds my the formula of my depression, and adding to that is my purpose in life. Like, what am I doing? What am I doing here in this earth? What really God wants me to do in order to fill my what is really my mission here, something like that. So it was really not clear from that time, and then actually it was a lot. I can't remember all of it. Additional is relationship conflicts. So I had a conflict with my friend that time. So
here or
in Manila?
Okay.
Yeah, I had a conflict with my friend that time. So
did you fight? You punched?
Not really, not a physical fight, but more of a shaky friendship.
Okay.
Something like that. So it's the friendship is about it's about to be gone, something like it's about
bridge
to lose.
is about to be burned.
Yeah, bridges are about to be burned. So you can see that there's anxiety in there. Like there's fear that you will lose your friend. So it really adds up, and to the point that I really questioned my ability. I questioned my purpose. I questioned everything like that. So bottom line, I broke down to tears, something like that. Yeah. So most of the time, so it's really one thing that you need to consider. You need to take note. If you know a person who is experiencing or is suffering from depression, is that you don't want them to be alone, because all of that mental problems or mental issues that that person is thinking, that is not actually existing
in your head.
Yeah, it's just in your head or something like that. Or no, I don't want to use that it's just in your head, because
or it's valid, but
yeah,
you're just dealing it by yourself.
It's valid, but they're dealing it in a wrong way, in a different way, and they're dealing it on their own, something like that. So if you know a friend or if you know a person who is suffering from that, do not let that person go on his or her own, because the more he's on solitude, the more those attacks gets worse or escalated. So the more he experiences depression. Yeah.
Then what happened next?
What happened next? Right before I experienced depression, I was invited to by my roommate back then. I was invited by my roommate to attend the church. So to attend Victory Makati. Yeah. Because I was living in Taguig that time, and Victory Makati was close to where I live. So, and my friend, even though he's in Mandaluyong, he's working in Mandaluyong, attends in Victory Makati. So he has already established a family in there. So yeah, he invited me. So that time I was not doing something. That was a Tuesday night. I after work it was idle time for me. So okay, maybe just one session will do. Right. So I attended, and I actually enjoyed it. The first time I attended it, so I kept on attending, but not really consistent. Not consistent. I'm more of a church goer that time. Back then, my mindset. I actually asked them about it. Because I'm a Catholic. Catholic that time.
I'm a Catholic.
Yeah, I'm a Catholic that time. Then I asked them, is it okay for a Catholic person to attend a Christian church? Because I just want to attend, but I don't want to be converted. I want to be remained. I want to remain.
Just need a fellowship.
I want to remain my Catholic status. So I just want to attend, and I enjoy the company of my new friends that I I've known ever since attending Victory Makati services. So yeah, they actually said it's fine. So that's my mindset that back then, that okay, I can attend, but I'm not going to be converted or be be part of them, yeah, in the first place. And when depression attacks and something like that, so that was the depression actually was a blessing in disguise, to be honest, because after I overcame depression through the help of a friend, and with the help as well of my sister when I called her that time. So yeah, I was able to overcome depression. Long story short, after that, another an opportunity came, which is me being a financial advisor right now. So that was a blessing from above. And then from that moment, series of blessings upon blessings came into my life. So yeah, January of this year, I decided to enter the process of converting into being a Christian, and here I am right now, living in a Christian life, free from any worries, free from depression signs, and happily serving God. So let's go back to the topic, overcoming depression through faith. Okay. Again, like I said, a depressed person cannot handle depression alone. He needs people. But not just ordinary people. People that are being appointed or chosen by God to help you or to help that person who is experiencing depression. So that's how God works, actually. So
in mysterious ways.
Yeah. That's how God works, actually. So when I realized that those people who helped me are those the perfect candidates chosen by God to help me overcome depression. There I experienced the glory of God at that time, and there my faith to Him actually started from that moment.
So what were the things that you were doing that led to that, or that contributed to you overcoming that state?
Mm-hmm.
Like, did you go any activities, or was it just being consistently surrounded by supportive people?
The first thing that I did is to really open up. That's really the key action. First thing that you need to do if you're under depression is to really open up. Yeah. Open up to someone that you
Express
trust,
yourself.
or someone who is willing to listen to you. It doesn't really matter if it's your friend or if it's your colleague from work or your family. As long as there's a person willing to listen to your problems, it's the start. It's actually the start. So I started opening up that time, and then a long conversation happened, and then after that, the first breakthrough that I received after overcoming depression is the opportunity to be a financial advisor. So from there, I shifted my focus. From.
So you're now busy, or
from overthinking those problems into putting all my efforts in my work and in being a financial advisor. So it slowly depletes or eliminates my the problems that I was thinking when I was under depression.
so you gain a sense of purpose now.
Yeah. And funny thing, because I was praying to God that time, because I said I was financially in trouble during depression. So one thing that really amazes me is that I was just praying to God for a financial breakthrough. I was just praying for God, like I said, God, you know my struggles, you know my challenges right now. I'm praying. One particular thing that I pray right now is financial breakthrough. Give me something that I can earn more, so that I can support more for my family. Not only that He gave me a financial breakthrough, but also He gave me an opportunity to be a catalyst for a financial breakthrough, and that is being a financial advisor. It didn't came like I expected. I was expecting for just racket.
Okay.
Racket. I was just expecting for racket, but look, God knows your capabilities. God knows what you deserve. So God knows what I deserve rather than what I desire.
Mm-hmm.
So He gave me the opportunity to being a financial advisor. So yeah,
so that's what you're currently doing now.
Yes. I'm working as a software engineer, and at the same time, on my free time and my after work hours, I do financial planning as a financial advisor. Yeah.
So now you have something to focus on. Did you gain any other new hobbies along the way, or since you have it seemed like you were in a way you were reborn or something, or basically you changed. So was there any other changes that came with it?
Actually, yeah, there is my spiritual walk actually. So when after I overcame depression, so right, diba, breakthroughs upon breakthroughs came in my way, then I decided to submit myself to Jesus Christ, accept Him as His Lord, as my Lord. I accept Jesus Christ as my Lord. So yeah, aside from career opportunities and breakthroughs in terms of career and financials, my spiritual life is actually the biggest breakthrough. I've been renewed, I've been changed when I decided to undergo the process of being converted to a Christian. So I asked a friend to minister me and to do one-to-one sessions. That's the key. In Victory Makati and in Victory Every Nation, that's the first step. And then Victory Weekend, which is basically baptism. That's where my spiritual walk actually kicked in. Like my spiritual journey, my journey as a new and reformed version of me. From there, more opportunities came. In terms of discipling others as well also came. And
so are you preaching or just mentoring?
No, I'm also part of the kids ministry in Victory Makati. So every Sunday I volunteer as a kids church teacher, teaching kids, introducing kids to the gospel. I did not expect. This is something that I did not expect actually. I am not really a fan of, hanging out with kids. I'm not really.
You have no plans for kids yet?
No, I'm not really a fan of hanging out with kids. Actually, the ministry that I selected, kids ministry, is the least ministry that I wanted to join to be a volunteer in. But it was being orchestrated by God that I will be put into kids ministry without my expectation. Like, God, why? Like of all the ministry, this is the least thing that I wanted to be part of. Yet you placed me here, so
why not?
Why here? like I really ask, why here, God? But sige, let it be unto your will, God. Let it be done in accordance to your will. Sige, I embrace kids ministry, and true enough, I'm happy. I'm happy being part of the kids ministry.
So we talked about your past, now your present, what you're into. So what's next? Like
what's
the future?
Next?
What are your plans, or are you already executing on your plans?
Okay. What's next? What lies ahead of me? Siguro, or what? Yeah. What are my plans? To be honest, I don't have. I have desires.
What about your financial plan?
Yeah, I have desires to
Okay.
to to be more excellent in terms of being a financial advisor.
How about being a software engineer?
hopefully breakthroughs will come in, and
December
being a software hopefully I don't really have a concrete plan at all, because
so it's faith based.
yes, because I have this, there's a difference between desire and what you deserve, so you request, you pray for God for what you desire, but God gives you what you deserve, because
Sure.
you desire less, but God really knows that you deserve more. So there's a big difference. So there may be a point that whatever you desire, it will not be given to you, because that is something that you don't deserve, right? So I let God do what He wants, what He wants, what's His plans for me. My favorite verse here. Sorry, I always have this one in my bag. So whenever I go, I have this. I also have a app version of a Bible. So I'm reading under ES. I'm going to share to you one of my favorite verse. Yes, the Old Testament. It's from Habakkuk. So it's Habakkuk 2:3. I hope you can put
Let's include that
subtitle
description.
Habakkuk 2:3. It says here, and I'm reading under ESV version, by the way. So it says here, "For still the vision awaits its appointed time. It hastens to the end. It will not lie. If it seems slow, wait for it. It will surely come. It will not delay." Right. So whatever you're praying for right now,
it will come in its own
it
time.
will come in
Or
its
in
own
God's
time.
time.
So do not be hasty about what you are requesting for God, because God knows more. God knows you better than you know yourself. So He knows that this breakthrough will be timely for you, maybe 10 years from now, 20 years from now, or even 30 years from now. But I do hope that you develop the mindset or the characteristic of waiting in faith with what God is in store for you, because there is really joy in waiting, especially if you are waiting in faith. So another verse, one of the most popular verses actually.
Still Old Testament.
Old Testament under Jeremiah. It's Jeremiah 29:11. So, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and hope." So this is actually for those that are having problems right now, or having they are going into something right now. So take note that in life, especially if you're already a Christian, or just to set expectation of for a Christian life, it's not always storm free. So if you're a Christian, you really do not expect that all the happenings in your life will be saya, happy, like blessings all the way. But there will always be struggles. More so that being a Christian, this is my experience. So ever since I became a Christian, all the more that the challenges or the struggles came in, like exponentially escalated more, meaning dumami yung challenges. And this is one of the verses that you need to think upon when you're encountering challenges. So there is always blessing after every challenge. Proverbs, this is also one of my favorite.
There's a lot of Proverbs.
Yes. Proverbs 3:5-6. "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will make straight your paths." So whatever problem that you encounter right now, whatever problems that you will encounter in the near future, always put your trust to God. And if you're malas today, if you're
It's always tomorrow.
Yeah, if you're having a bad day today, always acknowledge, Lord God, thank you as well. Thank you pa rin, because despite having a bad day, I'm still here, I'm still fit, I'm still healthy, and
Still alive.
I still have another day to make bawi. So always acknowledge, even though you're having a rough day.
Thank you so much for sharing, Mark. You have an appointment, so I don't want you to be late to your appointment. But yeah, for this segment or for this series of the podcast, no, it's just all about sharing. At the end of the day, it's you or you who's listening or whoever you are listening or struggling or experiencing frustrations, challenges. Hopefully you take something from this and then execute on it, whether if it's on regarding your hopes, your goals, your dreams, your or however you're feeling or whatever you're experiencing right now. So know that you're not alone, and that there's always a way. There are different ways, as previously shared. This is just Mark's path that he's sharing. By the way, do you have any, are you still maintaining your blogs or your Facebook page?
Oh yeah, actually I'm having a hard time maintaining my blog, but you can add me on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay, I just included in the link. So thank you so much for watching and listening.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.